Don't you hate when you are in an airplane and the kid behind you keeps asking, why this, why that? That was me as a child. In fact, my nickname at school was a question baby, because I asked so many questions to my teachers, and you don't even know what will become of question babies. Education. What is education? What is the role of education in people's lives? What do you think? In my opinion, education is the most powerful tool that can change people's lives. My name is Feruza. I'm from Uzbekistan. I came to South Korea when I was 20 years old. Before I came to Korea, I didn't know anything about the world, about living alone, about being independent. But when I came to Korea, as a student, I was an independent adult. And from that point, my life was in my hands. In Uzbekistan, I was an ordinary student like others. But I was very passionate about studying, about educating myself. I was young. Even I was young, I was very interested in everything. I was interested in language, history, geography, everything around me. And even I was young, I asked many questions. But because I lived in a small village, I had no opportunities to learn. As a young girl who wanted challenge, I had no encouragement. As a child with many questions, I had no answers. In one day, in my middle school, me and my friend heard about an English language school which was newly opened in our village. And we really wanted to go to the school. But it was very far from our house and it was expensive for us. And at that time, per month it was 50 cents. But at that time it was quite expensive for our family, because my family's financial condition was not that good. So I was scared to ask my parents for money. But I asked, and after long conversation, they agreed to pay my tuition fee, and I was able to study in that school. However, the tuition fee increased from 50 cents to $2. My parents couldn't pay it anymore, and I had to just stop going to this school. And it was very heartbreaking for me to lose this opportunity to learn English, because it has given me so much inspiration. This language school was very colorful and different from my ordinary school. That's why I really loved it. But I had to stop going there. Besides this, in my high schools last year, I missed a lot of classes because I had to take care of my handicapped grandmother, because our family couldn't hire anyone to take care of her. Usually in high schools last year, students go to training courses to prepare for universities, but I couldn't do that. But I never stopped studying. I never gave up. I always challenged myself and tried to use and learn from everything around me. Every day I tried to study at least 10 minutes, and these 10 minutes meant a lot to me. And as a result of my efforts, I finally got a full-ride government scholarship to university in Uzbekistan. And that was the turning point of my life. And later, after 4 years, I got a full-ride government scholarship from Korean government to attend Yonsei University, a prestigious university in Seoul. I have since become a vice president of scholarship alumni program, alumni association. And also for my master's, Pohang Steel Corporation, POSCO, offered me a full-ride scholarship. After graduation, I worked at the Embassy of Uzbekistan in South Korea. And now I'm working as a global manager for one of the largest commercial banks in South Korea. And finally, my mom told me, "Oh, I'm sorry, I wanted you to be a good housewife like me. Marry early." In my mind, that was the true success for girls. But you proved me wrong. I'm proud of you. From a Christian baby in Uzbekistan to graduating a prestigious university in Seoul, I have had great experiences and have achieved one of the most important goals of my life. Who would have thought that a Christian baby from a small village could have accomplished so much? Christian babies can be very annoying, but sometimes they can make big changes. A few months ago, I visited a small village near Aral Sea in Uzbekistan. This is that place, the Aral Sea. The Aral Sea is the largest ecological problem in Uzbekistan, in Central Asia. The water level of Aral Sea has decreased and causing an increase in salt concentration. Because this water is consumed as a drinking water, it has caused many health problems to local population, such as very high blood pressure. Also, in addition, this problem contributed to the flight of population and industry from this local region. All of this has led to financial difficulties for local population. During walking around this small village, I saw a school with kids playing around there. And I approached them and I talked to them. They were very curious children. They were like when I was a child. And when I told them that I'm living abroad, they started asking me questions about language, history, geography, everything. And in their faces, looking their face, I thought I was looking at myself when I was a Christian baby. And even they asked me to teach them how to speak Korean. After leaving them, I thought to be a source of hope and motivation for them. And recently, I and my friend organized and successfully accomplished a fundraising project to provide books and school materials for children who are living in that area. Do you know Malala and Oprah Winfrey? I have a great respect for them because despite of their poor childhood, they totally changed their lives through education. Malala had an extremely hard childhood living in Pakistan, where everyone was against her desire to learn, desire to study. But even after being shot by Taliban, she never stopped studying, she never stopped learning. And at her 17, when she was 17, she was the youngest recipient of Nobel Peace Prize. And she dedicated her prize to education of young girls. Oprah Winfrey also had a very tough childhood. Her mother and grandmother were housemates, and they also expected her to be a housemaid like them. But she chose to be a Christian baby, and she concentrated her studies. And she became a very popular TV icon in USA. Even she built schools in Africa for girls. Through education, Malala and Oprah are helping people, especially young girls, to change their lives. I can see and feel the importance of education in my everyday life. So nowadays, I'm raising funding to supply those Christian babies in Uzbekistan with reading materials like English books. And in the near future, I want to help building public libraries in every town of my home country, so that those Christian babies can have a place to find their answers. Nowadays, many organizations are helping children. They give food and clothes to children. But I prefer to give books, because food can feed a very few people, but books can feed millions of people. Thank you.